Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven. I'm joined today by Austin, David, and Lisa. And today we are talking about the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom because a trailer dropped a couple of days ago. And man, it gave so much more information than we had before. And with every trailer that releases from this game, it just keeps getting better and better and better. But this one specifically talked about a few things we're going to go over. The first thing it talked about were the rifts across Hyrule, this broken land, and how Zelda needs to go into these rifts. And as she does, she is introduced to the still world, which is something that how I connected it in my brain is, this is the answer to the Tears of the Kingdom, the depths, but in a 2D Zelda game.
It's fairly interesting. I mean, she's going in to rescue, I think it showed King Hyrule. We know Link's trapped in there somewhere, but we don't exactly know why some people are still, like it showed that lady at the beginning of the trailer, and it said something about them disappearing too. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes,
like,
it said people get sucked in, they get petrified, and eventually disappear.
If they're there completely. Too long, though, I wonder if that's just one of those things where it's like, hurry, you have to go help Zelda right now, and you're like, hang on a second, I'm gonna go do like 10 side quests, and then I'll go help. Or if they're actually gonna disappear, I don't know.
If they're gonna have a timer up there, this is how long you have to beat the game. Let's go.
Yeah. Has a little countdown timer above their head. You're like, oh.
Hope not.
That'd be stressful. My goodness.
Yes, that would be stressful. But Zelda has been known to throw in some really stressful moments in their games. So
sure.
Yeah, this does feel like the answer to, like you said, the depths, but also in previous 2D Zelda games like the Dark World from A Link to the Past or Lorule Between Worlds. So this is going with that theme of like this alternate world where things are different. This is more different because in a lot of those other games, it was like a mirror version of the main world, right? Where it looks very similar. There's some differences. But in this case, things are just floating around. Random objects from the main world that have just been like pulled in and are just suspended in space. You have to explore, and it looks really cool.
The way that you can solve puzzles however you want in this game is very reminiscent of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as well.
Yeah, yep.
Like you can solve these puzzles in multiple ways. Check this out, and check this other way you can solve the same problem. It's just like, yes, like this is gonna be cool because this will also be like a conversation starter. Like, oh, how did you get past this part? Oh, I did this. What? It's just gonna be so cool.
Ask all my dates now.
That's what I'm talking about.
You play Echoes of Wisdom? Oh no, never mind.
Exactly.
Deal breaker. No.
Deal breaker. Something else I wanted to say about the rifts that are really cool is that environments vary within each rift. So you go inside one rift, it'll be a completely different environment from another. And then also there'll be dungeons in there. There's going to be a lot to do in each of those rifts. Sorry, David, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. They didn't give too many details, but they did look more like traditional dungeons, which is a piece of Zelda that I would like to see, come back. So
yeah, same. It's one of the things that I really missed about Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, and it sounds like they're going to find a really good balance with this one.
What's funny is I feel like the first time we talked about Echoes of Wisdom, we were, I brought up that maybe some fans would be disappointed, right? They'd be like, oh, well, it's clear they're just taking it's Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in 2D form, but having seen more and more of it, like I'm excited about it now. I'm excited to see some of those creative solutions you can do in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom applied to a 2D Zelda. It just mixed with some more traditional Zelda elements. But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that I also kind of I feel like Majora's Mask proved that you don't need to change the formula every time. Sometimes you can just have the same stuff and have another great game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
And when we say
Um,
2D, hopefully everyone knows what we're talking about.
Yes.
It means
we don't
two
wanna-
dimensions instead of 3 dimensions.
Well, because somebody in the comments
We had
last
to-
time. Oh, okay. I don't know if
Yes.
you saw that, Lisa, but somebody
No.
was like, stop calling them 2D because they're not 2D, they're 3D
Oh my
with a top-down view. I don't know. I was just like, yeah, but you know what we mean. Come on,
You know what we're talking about. We don't need to get into the logistics of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't
Something else.
manage the camera. Okay?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
If you managed the camera, maybe I'd be on board with you. But I'm not.
Some minor detail that I noticed in this trailer as well, that it was very brief. Zelda was fighting a boss of some kind, dropped to bed, hopped in the bed, and after like a couple of seconds, it restored a half a heart.
Yeah.
So I assume that resting in bed, if you can lay there long enough, you can restore some health.
I saw a comment.
Oh.
I saw a comment that was like, you laying in a bed during a boss fight is a vibe. Right?
That's going to be the new comic. You remember the one we were talking about, Breath of the Wild, where he's eating mid-flight as he got hit? It'll be sleeping in, Zelda's sleeping in the middle of a boss fight.
One thing I wanted to say before we move on from the rifts. The intro of this new trailer, that retconning what happened in the first trailer, because we feel like the first time we see the rifts, first trailer is Zelda's trapped in a crystal. This time it's like she's seeing the rift for the first time,
Yeah.
and the queen
No. This is my guess. This is I made up the continuity in my brain, and so we'll see if I'm right. And if I'm right, then I demand approbation. Anyway,
Take notes, everyone. Take notes. Here we go.
Yeah. So my guess is that she starts out trapped, and then she gets out, and then Link gets swallowed, and then she goes to the king to be like, "Oh my gosh, Dad, Link got swallowed," and then he gets swallowed, and she's like, "Well, sweet,
Yeah.
I guess.
I got
Guess I'll do it."
Or maybe even
yeah.
on the way to see the king, it's happening in the world too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sees it happening all over the place.
I think you solved it.
I mean, it could also be the other direction, but I feel like that would be weirder to be like, oh, like she went to go get Link to save her dad, and then she randomly got picked up by Ganon. He just scooped her up along the way. I don't know. That could be a thing. But it would feel weirder to me than just like.
It makes sense to me, and
Yeah.
you heard it here first. So take notes if it happens. Yours accolades. You got to throw some
Yes,
accolades
there
at
we
Simply
go.
Nerdy.
Me
All right, move. Lisa specifically. Lisa from Simply Nerdy.
Yeah.
Moving on. Anthony could not join us tonight, but he did want to say that he called it Link mode, quote unquote, Link mode, and the still world are awesome. So we're going to talk about the Swordfighter form, aka Link form.
I called it Link possession. He's being
Oh, yeah,
possessed
that's right.
by the spirit
Lisa
of
called
Link.
it
Harnessing the
Possession.
spirit of Link. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harnessing the spirit of Link.
Instead
I
of
love-
demonic
all-
possession, it's Linkonic's possession. That's hard to say. Never mind.
A, B, C, and D are all appropriate answers for this form.
Yeah.
And you heard it here first. So in this form, you'll be able to change to, you'll be able to do Swordfighter form for a short period of time. And then you'll be able to replenish the gauge from energy found in the still world. What do you guys think?
The first thing I thought of is, when the game was revealed, people were like, "Why didn't they give Zelda a sword?" I feel like it's almost an answer to that. Like, look, there you go.
I have to admit that though I can see the whole like have a sword and be like, I don't know what to
Warrior
say.
princess.
Yeah, warrior princess.
A Link clone.
Well, that's actually why I'm happy that they didn't just go with that, because I wouldn't have liked the idea that in order to become useful, she has to become Link but girl.
Right.
Ooh, I
And
like
so-
that.
And
That's
so
cool.
I very much appreciate that they have different mechanics, but it is also fun that they have ways for, her to play in ways that are more familiar with people, and they can be like, yeah, see, she can. I mean, I feel like the stuff she can do is already cool, but she can do sword cool stuff. She have
Well-
sword and be cool.
Yeah, and the fact that she even wears the tunic, a lot of people may say she's being, a form of Link, but really we know that the tunic isn't necessarily tied to Link. It's the hero's
That's
tunic.
his
It's the
skin,
tunic of the
Austin.
hero. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's his skin. Didn't you know that?
Oh.
He can't. They can't take that off of him.
Oh no!
But
I'm sorry.
yeah. So she's wearing the hero's tunic, so she's harnessing the power of the hero. And I think it's really cool that they brought back that traditional feel of Zelda, like you were saying, Steven, about the traditional sword fighter style, but also just the balanced aspect of the power gauge, so that you can't just run around with sword and shield attacking everything. You still have to use Zelda's abilities to create echo forms or whatever they're called.
You can't just be Link but girl the whole game.
The whole game, exactly.
And that's great because I love to have, like we already said, having Zelda have like a differentiation between her and Link is fantastic.
And the other point that it really, that brings to my mind is I'm thinking, if this is, I can only imagine this is one of the forms. What are going to be the other forms that she's also going to have access to? Is she going to be able to have an archer form? Is this going to be Princess Peach? What was that game called? Princess Peach Showtime?
Yeah.
Yes.
But Legend of Zelda, Princess Peach Showtime.
Ooh, you heard it here first. All right. More accolades for us. If we're right, that one goes to Austin, everybody.
Austin, who knows? Who knows? She might have like a way to kind of like mimic Majora's Mask, where she, instead of donning masks to harness the powers of Zoras and Gorons and Deku scrubs, that she have these forms that allow her to be an archer, or to, I don't even know what else they would do.
Well, that makes a lot of sense,
Be
because
a
why would they
Goron.
have that gauge?
Be a boomeranger.
Yeah.
Well, why would they have that gauge if they're only going to use it for one power?
Yeah, I'm
There's gotta
convinced.
be other things.
I'm convinced that there's going to be a
other
plethora of other forms that she's going to have access to, and that I'm really intrigued to see what else.
things. Yeah, I'm
they're
going to
gonna bring
ask
in.
what other form you'd like to see. We're going to save that for the end of the video, so be thinking about a form that you'd love to see. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't even cross my mind the idea that she'd get other forms. Like you said, bow and arrow. I can easily imagine that now. So, cool call out. My thoughts are that
Hammer. Sorry.
This only adds to the theme they're going for, where so many, this huge variety of ways you can solve the game.
Yeah.
You can even temporarily be Link and play it that way. Basically. So it's just the possibilities are endless. Is what it feels like. So
It almost feels like to me they're taking some ideas from so many games. We've seen a lot of influence from Mario. We've seen, of course, Zelda sticking to its traditional style, but also Kirby, in the sense that you can suck up enemies and steal their powers. I wonder if there's going to be something like that, where you come across certain people across the world and harness some power or learn some form from them that then you can use later on in the game. I don't know, but it's cool to think about all the possibilities.
I'm pretty much sold on it now. At first, I was like, it looks good. Like a continuation of Link's Awakening, but it's clearly got its own identity besides the visual similarity to Link's Awakening remake. So
yeah.
It's funny. I have a former coworker who is a major Zelda fan, and I was asking him about the game, and he's like, "Oh, it isn't quite what I was hoping for Zelda's first game, where she's the lead character." And I sent him the most recent trailer. He's like, "Oh, I'm sold now."
Yeah.
It looks better than I thought, and that's what every time they show more of it, that's what I'm feeling. It's getting better and better. So,
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to hop into the last thing for the trailer, and that was the introduction of Automatons. These are activated by winding them up. They have powerful effects that differentiate them from echoes, and if they take too much damage, they will break apart. Austin.
Oh man. Yes, I'm excited. It's cool because it gives you, again, this they're really finding ways, just like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, to blow your mind when it comes to new ways to upgrade items and abilities. And it's, I don't know, it's really fascinating to me to see all of the possibilities that that can come from that. So,
when they made a point of saying, okay, these will break if they take too much damage, what does that imply about echoes? Like, does that mean that echoes persist longer, or like they don't just disappear if they take damage? Like,
well,
it's just
kind of the vibes I got is that echoes, once you copy them once, you just have them forever.
Yeah.
But with these, they're like consumable, overpowered echoes. If they break, then you have to buy it again instead of just being able to be like summon.
Yeah. No, I think you're right, because like when you do an echo, it brings up that menu, and you like go through it and select something that you've copied before and recreate it. So
yeah,
I think you're right there. Like, it's
maybe that's what you were gonna say. Sorry.
no, but I do wonder, does that mean like the echo has a time limit? You copy it, and then like an enemy, for example, you copied an enemy, you create an echo of them, they help you fight. When do they disappear? I don't know. Anyway. So anyway,
it could be a time thing, but I feel like, in my opinion, it would be more likely to be like like an energy thing. Like you have 3 charges, so you can make 3 echoes of this kind and 4 echoes of that kind. I don't know. Maybe is that covered in the?
I don't think so.
What? No.
I don't think they went that far into
like there's
what
no
resources
way
are
that
used.
there's no way they'd let you spawn an army of hundreds. But
No.
whether the limit is, I think, but that's one of the reasons why I feel like amount is very much more likely than time, because if it was time, unless they also then if they did time and amount, that would work. But if they only did time, you could spawn like a million billion and crash the game. And before
that's a good point, Lisa.
So I think it has to be amount in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong.
Some limitations, otherwise you'll just break the game. So,
Yeah.
and
Right.
just their comment about the limitations of the automaton things made me curious. All the ways they'll be different from echoes, and what the limitations of echoes will be. So anyway, it's interesting, and I'm excited to see the final result, see the final product.
Yeah, which apparently is going to be like super soon.
Yeah.
Couple weeks,
within
guys.
within the month.
There's the
crazy.
part of me that's happy, and then the part of me that's miserable. And the part of me that's miserable is miserable because I have games that I've been playing for 2 years and not finished, and Anthony is looking at me with pained eyes. And
you heard it here first. Lisa's collecting her own collection of backlogs, but she started all of them.
That's
She's
true.
Oh,
but it's Zelda. But
This
it's Zelda.
is like
Priorities.
Okay, but
Priorities.
Listen, I can't talk about this.
It's okay. You can play it
I haven't even finished
vicariously.
Tears of the Kingdom.
You can play it vicariously through myself or Steve, who are probably be live streaming it on the channel. So for
There
anyone
will
that's
be
interested,
a release party. There will be a release party.
I know.
Don't you worry about that one. Speaking of release parties, tune in today. Later today, look for a video from us. Austin and I are going to be live streaming some Harry Potter Quidditch Champions later this morning. We're going to give it a try.
just came out today.
Just came out today. You can get it for free on the PlayStation Plus months for free games for the month of September. If you want to try it out before you buy it, or just play it that way, it's fine. Free game. And then look forward to any other content that we produce by subscribing, liking, and ringing the notification bell so you're notified when we go live or do any other release parties, which, by the way, there will be one for this Zelda game, of course. Oh, my goodness. We are so excited. So many good games coming out this month. We also, what's another game coming out this month that we need to be partying for? There was another one for PlayStation. Astrobot. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
You can definitely bet that there will be a release party for that and the live stream. So look forward to all those. Please join us, and we'd love to see you there. Yeah, go ahead.
Isn't that one this week as well?
Thursday.
Oh,
Ouch.
wow.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, too many games,
It's on the
guys.
5th. It's on the 5th. Yeah. About that one pre-order. Don't worry. So yeah, look forward to that. So possibly 2 live streams this week. So you heard it first. And is there anything else you guys want to say before I do the outro?
Yeah, did you want us to talk about what forms or something we anticipate being in the Zelda game?
Oh yeah, you have a question, Steve.
Oh, and now we're going to talk about what form we would like to see Zelda have for this Echoes of Wisdom game.
And you guys
it
should
could be
give
out
us
there.
ideas.
It could be safe, or it could be a little bit crazy. Austin, I'll start with you. I still haven't thought of mine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think it'd be cool if she had some kind of swimmer form. Maybe she learned something from the Zora people, and that allows her to traverse different areas of the map that were previously unexplorable. You know, maybe she can swim in deeper waters. Kind of similar to Ocarina of Time, where you get the gill or something. I don't remember what it's called. The green one that Link can get to dive deeper. Anyway, I think it'd be cool if she had something like that. You know, these are forms that allow her to cut trees and explore deeper, vast areas of the map that you weren't able to before. So that's kind of what I'm envisioning. But what about you guys?
That's a good one.
Hammer.
Okay. Hammer.
Channeling the
Hammer
inner
time.
Mario. Yeah.
Oh, and Link just have hammers.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the Megaton hammer, right? And among other ones. But
I'm gonna go for a safe one. I think she'll get a form where she can shoot a bow.
yeah.
What about you, Steve?
I keep thinking about the grapple hook. What do they call it?
Hook shot?
Hook shot. Some kind of hook shot.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like hook shot would kind of undermine her kit.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Maybe
It would.
Maybe it wouldn't, but
Though the other one I thought of also breaks her kit, and that's a transformation into like a Rito where you could like fly.
yes.
Who needs echoes? You just fly
Echoes
everywhere.
once you get your
Fly,
wings.
fly.
Hoo-yah!
Oh man. Yeah.
Anyway,
That makes me
those are our
think of-
forms, guys. Let us know who's
Wait,
right and
wait.
who's wrong, because obviously there's an answer. Sorry, go ahead.
And also more forms. But
Yeah,
I was
let us
gonna
know what
say-
other forms you think.
Tell us
Yeah.
all the forms. That'd be awesome. All right, guys. Well, if you like our ramblings, then you know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, and let us know what other forms you'd like to see in the game, because that's a fun topic of interest that I want to explore a little bit before the game comes out. And yeah, look forward to our live streams coming up later this week. Some release parties coming up. So yeah, and until next time, guys,
Keep it nerdy.
Nerdy.